Hey everyone, this is Derek with Rollga. Today I'm going to take you through an incredible 7-minute warm-up with your Rollga roller. Let's get started. So warming up is extremely important. The main reason why you're going to want to use a Rollga during a warm-up is because it's going to help create activation in your muscle tissue. If you activate a muscle prior to engaging in any intense physical activity, the muscle is going to perform better, and that's science-backed by research. It's called post or pre-activation potentiation. Look it up if you don't believe me. Let's take our roller. We're going to start with the glutes, all right? So I'm going to take my Rollga. Now this is up to you based on how much pressure you want and kind of what feels right. You can sit on the bulkier end on either end or more towards the middle. I prefer to displace it off to one end, really get deep into that glute, right underneath the butt muscle, and we're just gonna roll it out here for about 20 to 25 seconds. You can feel free to rotate your body inward or outward to get at that muscle at different angles, but since I am on one end, it's already curved, it's gonna help get at those different angles itself if I just sit here and roll, all right? This is where we're gonna be. Now we're gonna switch and do the other side, same thing over here. Bring it over to the other glute muscle, and again, we're just rolling back and forth, trying to get deep into that tissue. Again, if I'd like to, I can roll in and roll out. This is gonna get that muscle at different angles. Stay here for about 10 more seconds. If you fall off track with me a little bit on here, don't worry about it. Some people need to spend more time on certain areas. It's all good. This is just kind of a guide for you, all right? So that's our glutes. Now we're gonna take the roller, bring it to the back. Make sure you're gonna start in the mid-back. We lean backwards. This is where those contours really help with our Rollga because my spine is right in those contours so that my spine is protected. I'm just on the meat of those erector muscles along either side of my spine. I'm gonna choose to bring my hands behind my head here and roll out right here. Now some people, it might be too much pressure to lift your hips up off the floor, so you can always leave the hips down and roll out right here as well. I'm gonna choose to lift my hips up and bring my hands behind my head. If I spend more time in any one area, it's gonna be here. And that's for me. This is what I need. I love to release all the areas along my spine, and then as I get a little bit lower, I even get into those areas where the ribs meet the spine, right? And this is gonna help me breathe a little bit better. So it's really important to get all the way down here, kind of to the base of the rib cage, right around that area, and then all the way back up top. And again, you can choose to have your hands here or here. We're just gonna be taking nice big deep breaths. I know I'm spending a little bit more time here, but again, this is my 7-minute routine. Okay, from here, we're gonna come back up top. We're gonna bring the roller now down to the bottom of the body to the calves. Now here you can choose to either do both legs at the same time or one at a time. For time's sake, I'm just gonna do both. I'm gonna pick those two large grooves on either end of the Rollga. I'm gonna position my ankles right in those grooves. I'm gonna lift my body up off the floor, and then I'm gonna roll back and forth right here. Now what I like to do in this position is I like to cover kind of the bottom half below the knee joint first. After about 15 seconds, I'll stop, reset by bringing the roller just below the knee joint here, more towards the top of the calves, and then do the other half here. And again, if you'd like to, I'm a big fan of getting at these muscles at different angles. You can turn your feet in and out to get different angles and get those muscles kind of released a little more in depth. So from this position here, we're gonna relax. I'm gonna bring the Rollga up above the knee joint now. We're gonna lift here. We're gonna get into those hamstrings. So lots of big muscles that run behind the leg here, that cross over the knee joint. Really important to release these guys as well. So we're gonna spend a little bit of time here. And again, two legs, or if I'd like to, I can displace it off to one side and get one at a time. So I'm gonna finish up my hamstrings right here. Really get that deep release going. Again, turn the toe out. Now I might get into the IT band a little bit, which is actually gonna come up next. Turn the toe in, maybe get those adductors a little bit, right? Those inner thigh muscles. So after release that area, we're gonna go to the other side, do the same thing here. I'm gonna choose a single leg. Make sure you guys get a shot here. and release. Really important to breathe, okay? A lot of times, especially if you're new to this, it's a little painful. The more you hold your breath, the more your body's gonna tense up, the less your muscles are going to relax. So, big deep breaths, nice and easy. Don't be afraid to move, don't be afraid to roll. Okay. From here, we're gonna take a little break, bring the roller off to one side. I'm gonna turn and face you now because now it's time for the IT band. I'm a fan of getting right in the center of the roller here, right in this center groove. Is gonna go right on the lateral portion of my leg. I'm gonna keep this top leg up for support right here. Make sure my elbow is positioned right under my shoulder joint, and I'm gonna roll out right here. And again, this is another area where you can feel free to turn your hips down, turn your hips up a little bit to get those different angles working. So we're gonna spend time here from just above the knee joint all the way up to the hip on both legs. Very important to do that. Okay, a couple more seconds here. I'm gonna shimmy myself up just a little bit so I can get a little closer to my knee joint. Not on the joint, very important. Stay off the joint. And now we are going to slowly rest and switch sides. So here, same exact thing. We're gonna find the lateral part of the leg there, bring ourselves down to the elbow and forearm, and we're gonna release the IT band on the other side. Some people like to prefer to get their leg on the back here. I'm gonna bring it out to the front again, keep my body support stabilized. If you need any extra time in these areas, feeling a lot of tightness, a lot of soreness, spend a little extra time pausing and rolling, and you'll feel that muscle slowly start to release, all right? The last area we're gonna get at here, quadriceps. We're gonna turn face down. I'm gonna get either both or individual, one leg at a time into those grooves. I'm gonna decide to do two here. I'm gonna get right into the meat of those quads, and I'm gonna roll here to finish up my routine. Big deep breaths. Make sure you cover from top to bottom. If I'm going from using only kind of one leg at a time here, I'm gonna displace the roller off to the side here, get the single leg deep in that groove, and roll. When I say top to bottom, I mean from the hip all the way to the top of the knee, but remember, not on the knee. So that is gonna round out our 7-minute warm-up. Make sure you do this before any time you exercise, any time you engage in physical activity. You're gonna feel a lot better, you're gonna move a lot better, and you're gonna be much less likely to get hurt. Thanks for watching.